For lots of us, train stations are one stop on the way from A to B, but one competition, the World Cup of Stations, tries to find the ones that are very special.
This is the highlight of the commuting day for lots of people. This year, 48 stations around the UK are battling it out to be crowned the very best, and our reporter Katrina Renton is at last year's winner. It's Wemyss Bay in Scotland, and there we go. They've proudly got their award up on the wall. Good morning, Katrina. Good morning.
Good morning from the winner of last year's World Cup of Stations. Now, we're here at Wemyss Bay Station to launch this year's competition. Now, you'll see this place is really quite lovely. It was built in the early 1900s. The ceiling here is made of steel, and that's why it's so curved and beautiful. It's not just a railway station, though. There's also the ferry terminal. And if you walk down that way, you go there, and that links up the mainland to the Isle of Bute. And in its heyday, this place was really, really busy with people going on their holidays to the islands, as we would say, do the water. Now, today this station won the competition last year because of the local community and the volunteers. And we've been for a wee look around to see, just have a good look at the architecture in the daylight and to see just why Wemyss Bay won last year.
Every year, railway stations from all over the UK compete to be voted passengers' favourite destination, with one of them crowned top of the stops.
So we've come here to Wemyss Bay Railway Station to find out why it was a winner and what makes it so special.
It's very handy for both the ferry and the rail.
And it's quite beautiful, isn't it?
Yes, they spent a lot of money on it and did a very good job.
I love it. It's so Victorian. It's like the essence of Victorian style. Lovely, love it.
Just everything about it. It's just different from any other station.
And the walkway down to the ferries, it's kept the oldie worldy look about it. It's really lovely.
The station was originally opened in 1865 and rebuilt in the early 1900s. Throughout the first half of the 20th century, in the summer holidays, people came here in their thousands by train to catch the boat to local islands like Bute. Bobby here depicts one of the many children who would be off on his holidays.
I mean, they actually designed it what they call a lazy S curve.
Right.
So like S shapes, so that there's no bottlenecks, so they can move huge numbers of people.
So it was really, really busy back in the day then?
Really, really busy. In 1957, there was 10,000 people in an hour on Fair Saturday.
Simon is part of Friends of Wemyss Bay Station, who for the last 15 years have been involved in bringing it back to its former glory.
So how did it feel to win the World Cup of Stations?
Very honoured. I mean, it's not for us as individuals, it's for the station, really, and that's why we all do it. We're all volunteers. We all love being in the station, being around the station. People come in with a smile on their face when they see the station.
The group run a second-hand bookshop in what were the old first-class waiting rooms to raise funds for their work in the station.
You obviously have put a lot of love into finding out the history and restoring as much as you can.
That's
so that
right.
people can
We're
share
so
it.
proud of it, and when people come and say, "Isn't this a beautiful station?" we just it's really makes you feel proud. It's just the most amazing place. People are really astonished when they come here and they walk in and they just, you know.
Can see why you won.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, that's right. We deserved it.
But who will be the deserving winner this year? We'll find out later this month.
And let's find that out now with Robert Nisbet, who is from the Rail Delivery Group, who runs the competition. Now, first of all, this place won because of its volunteers, the local community, the amazing cafe, the bookshop. This year, the focus is on business. Tell us the criteria for this year's competition.
So it's all about local businesses, because what you forget about stations is they're not just bricks and mortar, they're centres of the community. And what happens, we discovered when we're doing some research about microeconomies and how railway stations help boost local economies, is that people who travel through stations can spend on average £32 in and around the station, and £7 of that goes to small local businesses. And if you add that up over the country with 1.3 billion trips that people take every year, that's £9 billion going into local businesses in and around stations. So we wanted to celebrate that this year. So 48 stations are going to be battling it out for the title.
Now, 48 stations, it's called the World Cup, of course.
Yes.
It's not really the World Cup, it's more the format. Tell us about the competition.
Exactly.
When do the votes open and when do they close?
It's a bit like the World Series in the US with baseball, which is really just American teams. We're using it because of the system, the knockout competition that we use, which is similar to the World Cup. It starts at 8 o'clock today. So there are 12 heats, 11 regional and 1 bonus round with the Community Rail Network, which does fantastic work up and down the country. 2,500 stations there are in Great Britain, but we've whittled it down to 48, and the first heat starts today at 8. So anybody who wants to play, go to raildeliverygroup.com/World Cup of Stations, and all the rules are there.
And top tips, what would you advise Wemyss Bay winner? What would you advise this year if people want to win?
I mean, love it and enjoy it. This is, it's good-natured, good-hearted. We've run it since 2019, but there is a serious message that sits underneath it. The value that the rail network supplies to the country, but also these fantastic railway stations that aren't just cafes or local businesses. There are also hairdressers, there are bookshops, there are garden centres, there are people selling canoes, all kinds of things all over the country. So really just enjoy it, get involved and support your local station.
And so the winner is going to be announced next Tuesday. Now, I don't want to skew the vote, but there are 4 Scottish stations in this. We've also got a Glasgow and Edinburgh rivalry, so maybe I can come back next week to help you announce the winner if Scotland wins.
That's a deal. Katrina, thank you so much. It does look gorgeous there, doesn't it?
It really does. What a lovely station. If you've got a favourite station, we'd love to, not just to vote for it, but also send us a picture of it this morning. Maybe if you're on your way to work and you're standing on the platform right now, take a picture and you can send it to us on WhatsApp.
Have you got a favourite station?
I do. I really like Nantwich in Cheshire has got a little curry house right next to the platform.
There's a curry house, OK.
Several times I have almost deliberately missed my train and stayed for a curry instead. That's great.
Oh.
That's what it is. They're local businesses, isn't it? And doing well in the stations. Send your pictures. Don't forget to tell us where you are and who you are, and we'll show some of those a little bit later.